Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. New 83% Rotten Tomatoes Western hit is the perfect combination of Mad Max and Yellowstone. Netflix's new series, Territory, offers a terrific combination of Yellowstone's plot and Mad Max's aesthetic. With Yellowstone's immense popularity following its premiere in 2018, it's no surprise other platforms are trying to emulate it. Even Paramount itself has begun trying to recreate the success with various Yellowstone spin-off shows, and more from creator Taylor Sheridan. Netflix's take on the neo-Western soap opera mashup offers something new, with its central Lawson family and their cattle empire set in the Northern Territory of Australia. Territory is a Western drama created for television by Ben Davies and Timothy Lee. Territory's cast features an impressive ensemble of Australian and New Zealand actors, including Anna Torv, Mindhunter, The Last of Us, Michael Dorman, For All Mankind, and Robert Taylor, Longmire. The show premiered on Netflix to solid critical standing, receiving an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7/10 score on Netflix. While it may not have Yellowstone's popularity yet, it's important to note that the Paramount series had a shaky start with its premiere season. It would be easy to compare any film or show set in Australia's vast landscapes to Mad Max, but the Netflix Western makes a distinct effort to mirror the iconic George Miller franchise with its cattle-baron conflicts, at least visually. The show utilizes a very similar premise to Yellowstone in that it follows the succession crisis surrounding a family who've owned an enormous cattle ranch for multiple generations, but it embellishes its plot with its environment. Marianne Station is to the Lawsons as the Yellowstone Ranch is to the Duttons, and both shows feature a patriarch struggling to maintain his legacy after the death of a son. Yellowstone embraces a sense of lawlessness that feels akin to the Wild West, despite its contemporary setting, heightening the stakes of its drama with the threat that any character could be killed in a violent shootout. Territory creates intensity with the Australian environment, similar to how George Miller utilizes sprawling deserts for his Mad Max world. While it may seem like a critique to suggest that Territory is just Yellowstone set in a different region, the matter is entirely justified by the show's use of its environment. The natural environment of the Northern Territory, from harsh deserts to predatory wildlife, establishes a feeling of danger for the show and its characters. For example, the premiere episode sees a character eaten alive by wild dogs. Territory incorporates classic Western elements, modern, relatable characters, and an authentic setting that brings the series to life in an entirely original way. The untamed frontier of the American West has long been a source of legend, grit, and raw storytelling. From classic shootouts under the scorching sun to the morally gray anti-heroes who dominate the land, the Western genre has evolved over the years, adapting to modern sensibilities while retaining its core themes of survival, justice, and revenge. Now, a new show has arrived, earning an impressive 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's already being hailed as the perfect blend of Mad Max and Yellowstone, a brutal, high-octane ride through the rugged, lawless landscapes of both past and future. A new breed of Western. This fresh hit redefines what it means to be a Western, borrowing from the dusty plains of Yellowstone, while injecting the relentless, dystopian chaos of Mad Max. Imagine a world where vast, open ranges stretch as far as the eye can see, but instead of cowboys riding into town for a quiet drink, they arrive in modified, dust-covered vehicles, built for both speed and survival. The result? A visually stunning and narratively gripping tale of power struggles, family legacies, and an uncertain future. The setting is a near-future America, where resources are scarce and outlaws rule the land. The traditional cattle ranches of Montana now resemble fortified compounds, protecting not just livestock, but precious water sources and fuel reserves. The government has little influence in these parts, leaving anarchy to reign supreme. Those who wield the most firepower control the land, and in this world, a single bullet carries more weight than any law ever written. Meet the reluctant hero. At the heart of the series is Jace Calloway, a former lawman turned reluctant outlaw. Played by a veteran actor known for his grizzled performances, Calloway is the type of character that embodies the best and worst of both Yellowstone's John Dutton and Mad Max's Max Rokitansky. He once believed in the law, but after the system failed him one too many times, he took justice into his own hands. Now, he roams the lawless frontier, caught between a promise he made to his dying wife and the ruthless gang lords who want him dead. Calloway doesn't ride a horse, at least, not often. Instead, he pilots a heavily modified truck, nicknamed the Iron Steed, with armor plating, a mounted rifle, and hidden compartments for supplies. But he still wears the signature cowboy hat, a reminder of a time when the West had rules, even if they were unwritten. A villain to remember. No Western is complete without a truly menacing antagonist, and this series delivers with Declan Cain, a warlord in the vein of Mad Max's Immortan Joe, but with the cunning ruthlessness of a corporate titan. Cain controls a vast network of outlaws, bounty hunters, and mercenaries who enforce his will with unrelenting brutality. His empire isn't just built on stolen goods and terror, it's built on control. He owns the wells that produce the last clean drinking water for miles. He owns the rail lines that move supplies between settlements. And he's determined to own Calloway's land by any means necessary. Cain isn't just a ruthless businessman, he's a showman. Every time he executes a rival, he does it in a grand spectacle, letting his victims choose between a high-speed chase across the wasteland or a brutal, old-fashioned duel at dawn. Either way, the result is the same. Blood stains the desert sand, and Cain's legend grows. The cinematic spectacle. One of the show's greatest strengths is its cinematography. Shot in sprawling desert landscapes and abandoned towns, every frame feels like a mix of Sergio Leone's The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly and George Miller's Fury Road. The action sequences are breathtaking. Horse chases that transition into high-speed dune buggy pursuits, shootouts that blur the line between classic revolver duels and all-out warfare with flamethrowers and mounted machine guns. But it's not all action, there's beauty in the quiet moments too. A lone figure standing against the setting sun, the crackling of a campfire as old stories are told, the weight of silence before the storm of battle. It captures the essence of Yellowstone's deeply personal storytelling while delivering Mad Max's unrelenting adrenaline rush. Themes that resonate. Beneath the spectacle, the show explores timeless themes of survival, loyalty, and the cost of power. It asks questions that feel eerily relevant today. What happens when civilization crumbles? Who gets to decide what's right and wrong in a world without laws? And can one man's quest for justice truly make a difference in a land overrun by greed and violence? It also leans heavily into family drama, much like Yellowstone. Calloway isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for the last remnants of his family. His estranged daughter, Sienna, has grown up hardened by the world, aligning herself with Cain's faction to survive. She sees her father as a relic of the past, a man too stubborn to accept the brutal new reality. Their strained relationship forms the emotional core of the series, adding layers of depth to an already intense narrative. A Western for a new generation. This series isn't just another Western, it's a reinvention. It takes the best elements of the genre, honor, revenge, and the battle for land, and blends them seamlessly with the dystopian energy of Mad Max. It understands that while audiences still crave the classic cowboy narrative, they also want something new, something that feels both nostalgic and forward-thinking. With its 83% Rotten Tomatoes rating, the show has already proven its ability to captivate audiences. Critics praise its bold approach, stunning visuals, and unforgettable characters. Fans of Yellowstone appreciate the rugged storytelling, while Mad Max enthusiasts revel in the high-octane chaos. It's a rare blend that works because it understands the soul of both genres. Final verdict. If you're looking for a show that delivers gritty action, deep character drama, and jaw-dropping visuals, this is it. It's a Western that doesn't just ride into the sunset. It speeds through a dust storm, guns blazing, engines roaring, leaving only scorched earth and legend in its wake. So saddle up, whether you prefer a horse or a souped-up war machine. This Western is one ride you won't want to miss.